Oh, shit. Good morning. So I made these, like, apparently I sealed this one, but I did not seal the other two, so we can see what happens if you don't seal them and they're left out in the elements. I'm sure I sealed that because it's got color on it. Maybe not. No. No, I definitely did not seal that because it would be smooth like that one if I did. And smooth like the other one. It's my special mixture, right? My own little recipe. Since you can't find the specific mix anywhere except for Canada, and it's so expensive, so I just made my own so that it wouldn't be like cement gray, and it would dry in 15 minutes instead of 3 hours. And yeah, perfect. I just make things, okay? Because your own energy into things is better than anyone else's, yeah. That goes for candles, that goes for anything, especially if you're using it for spiritual purposes. Or even just like consumption, period, or usage. Right? You don't know what kind of energy goes into things that other people do, but you do know what kind of energy goes into the things that you do. Thanks. Right now I'm just observing like frequency changes, especially on my way to work, because there seems to be a lot going on. Like the further I get, the closer I get to my current job. So I'm just observing that, listening to it, working on that. It's a day by day thing. It's so weird to me that like the day is the same for everyone, and I'm pretty sure I know why that is, right? So most people, they're on autopilot. They do the same things every day and blah blah blah, and people get tired of their life very quickly doing so. You're probably consuming the same shows, talking to the same people, going to the same places, yada yada yada. It's the same thing. You're not exercising your brain. You're not exercising the mind. You're not clearing the mind, especially at night. Because what people don't understand is like your day to day is like ingredients. Everything that you watch, everything that you listen to, every person that you talk to, everything that you say or do is ingredients into a bowl for the day, right? So when you sleep at night, should you not like consciously put in the effort to clear that energy, then you're going to dream about it, or whatever mixture you put together, that is what's going to be produced in what you do, right? So if you're doing the same things and watching the same things, listening to the same things without any progress, then yeah, it's going to cause problems. or you're going to get very tired of life very quickly. Yeah. But if you clear the mind at night, come home, this is my way of like clearing my mind, or talking into a phone or whatever, even if it's just you listening to it, right? It's a very good way to work out any like thought processes that you have. Listen to it, right? Because when you're speaking, you're not listening. And when you're listening, you're quiet. So speak freely into your phone, record it, play it back, listen to yourself, and then dissect it. Like, am I saying anything that is contradictory? Is there a way that I could look at this problem in a different way? Is there a way that I could change my thought processes around such and such? Just exercise your brain. You can do that with a phone. For all the amazing uses you could use a phone for, people are not using them for the non-obvious, right? Like, or useful, or a way for growth. It does smell so good. I know people probably have like this misconception that incense doesn't smell good. It does. It depends on what brand and what kind, yeah. A lot of them do stink though. Not gonna lie. Yeah. But I have found the ones I like. So yeah, that's what we're working on right now. And just going over some things. Every day it's like a refining process. Like I clear my mind, and then whenever I sleep. So the ingredients that you put together during the day, like I do this at night. So I come home, I do this, maybe chat on here for a little bit, um, go to sleep, and then I can look at what's going on in the news and whatnot, um, make those connections, whatnot, come out, like my incense again, and with a clear mind, see what the frequency is going to be for the day. Like what topics are popping up into my head, or is there a particular song, or is there something that like triggers something, and then we just work from there, you know? So it really is like a self-guided thing. Uh, there are a lot of people who do. I'm a huge advocate against listening to guided meditations and whatnot. I mean, you can do what you want, right? This is not a I'm going to tell you what to do like channel. It's not. I don't listen to guided meditations from other people because you don't know their energy. Once again, if you play them forward and then play them backwards, does it align? That's like the biggest thing, right? Like there's a lot of babbling going on this planet. So it's, to me, better to speak very little, do a whole lot, and just be mindful of the fact that surface is not always what it seems, you know? Energy is everything, vibration is everything, right? So if I make things like this, then my vibration goes into it. If someone else makes it, I don't know what kind of vibration it's going to have, right? So But like I said, the topic is so vast and so large that it has to be done on a day-to-day basis. Like, there's absolutely no way to summarize it simply. Not at all. It is just something that you have to, because you got to understand, you've been brainwashed to be a slave since like birth. Okay, like that's a lot of undoing to have to do. A lot of incorrect thought processes, a lot of disconnecting and reconnecting that has to be done, right? A lot of rewiring. What I find ironic about like science, so-called science, you know, they'll say, especially where the brain sciences are concerned, they'll give you a pill because they say that this part of the brain is more active or releasing something or another. So they'll give you a pill and it'll mess up the whole thing. And then they'll tell you that it's crazy, but then they're over here like doing sciences and whatnot and making medications that replicate this. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. This world is so contradictive. It sounds to me like they were like, well, we don't quite understand this yet, so we're just going to label it bad. We're going to make something that suppresses that and then call you crazy and it's done, right? But in the same fucking like sect of people are people who are chasing like higher consciousness or higher knowledge, like occult knowledge, things that are hidden, right? Um, that know exactly what that is, right? Like, it is just, this world is a mess. A mess, right? But they're the ones that are profiting from telling everybody else, hey, you're crazy, take this pill, right? It's not deal with the trauma that our toxic world has forced you into, right? It's not any of that. It's not like, it's nothing healthy, right? It's nothing healthy. It's nothing right. Like, it's not the right way to do things. It just blows my mind. And everybody's on board, right? Same people that, same people that believe in an invisible man and an invisible being are the same people that will run around and say that somebody else is crazy for seeing something that they can't see because their brain doesn't like process the same things the same way. And then this world is so hell-bent on making everyone the same, because if you're all the same, then you're easier to control, right? Some people just don't get it. They don't get it. They don't get the bigger picture, right? And it's the ones that are running around the loudest thinking they're the like most righteous, right? It's them, right? Ay, ay, ay. Woosah. Woosah. Yeah. But that doesn't have to be your problem. It doesn't have to be my problem, right? No. It's only your problem if you subscribe to it, right? It's only your problem if you subscribe to it. If you subscribe to the ideals and the blah, 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 then, right? If not, remember, free will and choice. Free will, free choice, right? You can decide. You may be under the hypnotic illusion that you don't have free will and that you can't decide, but you can. Right? I think that lying to oneself, being in denial with oneself, is the quickest way to crazy, right? Or when someone else tries to like gaslight you and tell you your experiences, right? Isn't that just, it's still just the craziest concept to me that somebody believes that they can have an opinion about your experiences. What? Right? Right? That's what makes people crazy, right? That's what makes people crazy. I like that one little girl was in her car seat. She's like, worry about yourself, right? The whole world would just worry about themselves, right? And if everybody would like worry about themselves in the right way and everyone would be quiet until they've done the work and only talk after they've done the work, I think a lot of people would be humbled very quickly. Yeah. Humbled by their own actions. They would be astonished by their own judgments, right? You can't believe, right? That's what self-awareness and self-work does. It lets you know just how little you have to say about anything concerning another's uh, behaviors or whatever, right? Or how they operate. It does. It does. Right? Like I was standing outside this morning. I had like this strange epiphany and this overwhelming compassion come over me, right? To where I've never like had that compassion or empathy before for a particular person. The most difficult person, right? For me personally, like. And I thought to myself about all the generations and stuff. I think that if you reframe it to where it's, imagine just generations and generations and generations, like doing the same things and whatnot, and never healing, right? Which is exactly what we see. And it's exactly why the world is the way that it is. But imagine how you felt when someone was saying all these terrible things to you and being just terrible to you. But now imagine that person, someone doing that to them, and them just not being able to like cope or deal with it properly or have a chance to heal. Instead of me going in and then feeling like I'm not good enough, right? Looking at this person who's had that effect on me and someone making them feel like they're not good enough and that being projected onto me. And so then I'm carrying that and it's not mine, and he's carrying that and it's not his. And, you know, our grandparents are carrying that and it's not theirs. And it's just this perpetual like thing, right? But we can have compassion and empathy because we know how it makes us feel. So we can step outside of all feeling like of anger or whatever types of feeling that we have. And we can imagine that person trying to do their best at life and going through life and then being held back or feeling that way because of something. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like this thing, right? Like it's very hard to be so judgmental with another when you all wear the same shoes, right? So I don't know. I probably didn't put that like in the best wording. Maybe I did. I don't know. I'm a very visual person, right? Like I see 90% of the stuff that I'm talking about. Like I can put it, translate it better. I don't know. Math people get it, right? Like anyone will tell you like more geometry, like based people are good with like visuals. Whereas they say like the numbers and algebra people are really good with like numbers, right? Yeah. Like one is good at, well, once again, something that I just see in my head, yeah? And I could probably go like around that thought 900 times, yeah. So, Yeah. So that's that. That's the morning. That's where we are. I have been running those frequencies that I put on the 2 week reset. They've actually been really good for me because I've not listened to them since I first began. And it's a good breakaway from my usual stuff. And it is actually helping form better pictures for me. And I'm also playing those like through my way to work. That's a whole thing. It's just the whole thing. I'm always, yeah, I'm always doing something for sure. Because this is a long going thing, right? This is not something I just started like last year, the year before, 3, 4, 5 years. No. This has been consistent, right? So, yeah. I have noticed whenever you clear out, like, you can look at like bad experiences or what you consider like bad experiences or hurtful experiences or whatnot, like blockages. It's like blockages to the knowledge that everyone wants, right? And that everyone seeks for eons, right? It is. So you have to give up like those things. You have to work through those things in order to have. It's almost like having writer's block or something. Like when people want to write or whatever, they get a block, right? Creativity is the same way. Uh, when you've got all of this like heavy stuff and all of these things, like it blocks those energy centers. That's the whole uh, idea around like having a creative, chakra, and then, you know, your root chakra, if it's unbalanced, and you may have trouble, like, if you look at them, if you look at what they're connected to, and then just like really study those, then you'll be able to like look at areas of your life where you're like, okay, yeah, I'm having trouble with this, and so you can try to find like the root uh, emotion experience that goes with it, right? And see, and that's good news for like people with like, I hate using labels, but with PTSD or like deep trauma where they constantly are battling uh, triggers and stuff like that, like it can be a superpower if you learn how to rein it in, give it the attention that it needs, work through that, right? And reopen your energy centers back up and make that a force for good in the external world, right? So, but that requires like intentional focus, intentional thought, intentional silence. Uh, Music is a good therapy, right? Music can be a poison too, you know? Like I've gone over how sound and the cymatics and how that like affects you on a cellular level and yada yada. And that's why, because it can be poison to your body. Frequency can be poison or it can be medicine, right? So this world has a lot to learn and a ways to go. It does, right? But it's going to have to start like with the mind shift, the consciousness shift. To if people understand things thoroughly, then they're less likely to fall back into anything, right? Because it's done the right way. When things are done the right way and you understand it from like a foundational level, it's impossible to like go back. It's impossible to fall back into like, it's just impossible, right? It is. So I think the world thinks that it's got a bunch of cliff notes and whatnot, and thinks that that's good enough, and hasn't been shown why it's not good enough. Needs to be shown why it's not good enough, so that it can start the self-reflection process, right? And doing things the right way. Because there are a lot of people who, like I said, think that they're like ultra evolved, and they're not. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. Right? Like the guy who took the mushrooms and the chicken soup. Did you see how many times the cop tased him? I don't think that you should be tasing anyone on psychedelics, right? Like, so who's the animal, right? It's like just watching animals. Yeah. It's like we're in a concrete jungle in the jungle, right? And they've created their little hierarchy of animals, because they are all animals, yeah. And, right there with the policies and stuff, they, the courts and shit think that they're the king of the jungle, and then you got them who think that they're bigger than the fucking, the guy in the fucking chicken suit that they're fucking tasing, right? Like it's all just one big fucking non-evolved shit show, right? Like you fucking tranquilize animals and shit whenever they're like a threat, right? Monkeys, fucking monkeys. Like the kind that like throws shit at you. It's not like Coco doing sign language and telling you to take care of nature because you're part of nature. Not that, no. This is like fucking. I just can't. I can't. Anywho, I'm gonna be quiet now because this conversation could go. Just need some time to like think on that, yeah.